What is up, you beautiful bastards? It is 8:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means only one thing: that Late Night with Take 3 is live. Cody, why are you? I didn't even butcher the intro.
I know, but
my momentum.
You had to take your pause so you didn't screw it up. You literally said we're back. Late Night with Take 3.
Yeah, you know why? Because I almost said jukebox trivia, and I'm like, nope, it's not Monday, it's Thursday.
In your defense, it's the exact same crew from Monday, so I can see
pretty well.
Is it?
I just about started the J, and I'm like, nope, it's not Monday, Brooklyn. So you bastard, it's Thursday. Anyways, welcome to Late Night Take 3. There is some sort of form, but it is a little more of a laid-back show. Episode 951, with today being November 1st, we are talking about movie Mustaches, and we are going to dive into Movember and the greatness that it is, and the great cause that it supports. But first, I'd like to introduce the panel. First off, the producer, the man behind the scenes, great guy all around. You can find him on Sundays with Rankum. That is Mr. Malcolm Lay. Malcolm, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just relaxing and chilling and all that stuff.
All right. And the next fellow Canadian, he was a little mixed up in the time zones, but we did get him here and safe and soundly. He is the Sandman, Sandy Robinson.
Hey, Brooklyn. Sorry about that. I did get mixed up with my time zones. I'm just we have like fall back. So I get an extra hour sleep, so I'm actually really jacked up for that. So I was totally off the boards.
Is that this weekend?
It's this weekend, yeah.
It's this weekend.
Fuck, and I have Sunday off. Dreams do come true. Joining us as well today, our resident New Yorker. He is the longest-serving member of Take 3. You can find him on Saturdays with Rhyme and Reason with Sandy Robinson. That is the bridesmaid, Matt Kearns.
Fuck you. No. I come on this show and I'm thinking, it's gonna be a lot of fun. No one talking movie news, and then you just gotta, you hit below the knees. Screw you, Brooklyn.
That's considered a fair hit in rugby. It's when you go above the shoulders and they're like, yeah, not very good. Joining us as well today, making his return after a little bit of a hiatus. That is Mr. Abe Flores. You can find him on the Summits on Saturdays. Abe, how you doing, buddy?
The Summit is up on Monday.
Sorry, Summit's recorded on Saturday, uploaded on Monday. Man,
we're recorded.
This is what happens whenever I record on my day off. My brain just goes to mush. And you know what? I forget to introduce our current Late Night with Take 3 mini speed debate champion of the Full Metal and Multiplex fan trivia communities of the world. The Boston Red Sox loving bastards, Cody Newberry. Cody, how you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic. I'm a little upset that you didn't ask Abe how he was doing. He just corrected you, and then you moved on to me. But again, this is why people signed the petition to get you removed. I'm excited to be here tonight. I'm really excited that actually, Abe does have some facial hair, so there are two of you guys that need to hit puberty and grow some. Just kidding. Actually, I like Matt. Brooklyn, I don't like you at all, so bye.
Right. Well, I'll add that to the facts that I am not surprised about whatsoever. Let's start it out with the game we like to call 6 degrees separation. We normally differentiate between this and shenanigans, but I figured this might be a better game today with the bigger panel that we have. So Matt, can you explain the rules of 6 degrees of separation?
Sure, except here we call it 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon for one reason: the Bacon Meister, Kevin Bacon. So the rules are pretty simple. How it works is I will name an actor who is in a movie with another actor. For example, I will say that Tom Cruise was in Rayman with Dustin Hoffman. And then when it goes to Sandy, Sandy has to say that Dustin Hoffman was in a movie with another actor. You can't repeat an actor or a movie. Also, franchises, you can only say once. So Star Wars, you can only use once. Star Trek. However, to be more fair, stuff like Marvel and everything, the MCU won't count as one franchise. However, if someone says one Iron Man movie or one Avengers movie, all that is out the door. Also, if you are able to get Kevin Bacon, you get a save. That means if at any point you hesitate, you're not able to think of someone, or you get something wrong, but you would normally be out, you're in. However, if you're starting the round, you can't start with Kevin Bacon because that's cheating. All right.
Cool.
Well done.
All right. So we'll start it off with Matt, actually. Matt's going to ask Sandy. Sandy's going to ask Malcolm. Malcolm's going to ask me. I'm going to ask Abe. Abe's going to ask Cody. And then that is the full circle. Mr. Kearns, kick it off.
All right. I'll start off with the example one. Tom Cruise was in Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman was in Tootsie with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray was in Ghostbusters 2016 with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh.
I like that movie.
Melissa McCarthy was in. You could have also used St. Vincent. Melissa McCarthy was also in Heat with Sandra Bullock.
It's Abe.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Okay,
just making sure. I was making sure it wasn't me. So I was just like,
Sandra Bullock was in The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds was in the best comic book movie of all time, Green Lantern, with Blake Lively.
Blake Lively was in. Blake Lively was in Sex and the City with Sarah Jessica Parker. She in those movies?
I don't think she was in Sex and the City.
Nah, she's in Sister of the Traveling Pants. Fuck.
She's also in The Town.
Fuck. Yeah, that's right. All right, never mind.
Town, a great movie.
Fuck this.
Sandy starts fresh.
All right. I'm going back to. Damn it. Cute Cody. Blake Lively.
I figured you knew Blake.
You know what the thing is I did, but I couldn't pull the talent.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, so I'm going to say Robert De Niro was with Al Pacino in Heat.
Al Pacino was in The Insider with Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe was in The Gladiator with Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix was in The Master with Amy Adams.
Amy Adams was in The Fighter with Christian Bale.
What the fuck is everyone choosing the movies for?
Well, I wasn't going to call Brooklyn on a shit, but it's not The Gladiator.
It's Gladiator.
Technically, Brooklyn was wrong. But.
All right, so who was?
Sandy, you have Christian Bale.
So I have Christian Bale. Okay, so Christian Bale was in. Oh wow, there's lots. Was in Batman. No, was in The Dark Knight Rises with Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway was in The Princess Diaries with Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews was in Shrek 2 with Jennifer Saunders.
That's the Julie Andrews you picked.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't get to do fuck yous that often. That's the one fuck you that
But
I
it's
ask.
Abe. He joins your show and you throw him under the bus. Who'd you pick?
Jennifer Saunders. She voices the fairy godmother.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Jennifer Saunders. I love the last scene of Shrek 2. Then you guys think it's awesome. Let's make time. So how's everybody lives?
All right, Abe is out.
All right,
so
Abe's
Cody's
out.
fresh.
Cody starts.
Okay.
Jennifer Saunders. No idea who she is.
Who do I want to use?
I should recall Shenanigans.
Why?
No, that's
Okay.
not this game. That's
No.
not this game, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna do Via. Oh no, I want to use that as a second. Martin Sheen was in The Departed with Via Farmiga.
Sandy.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Who did you say?
Vera Farmiga.
Is that a cheese or a person?
We actually
Maybe both.
we actually talked about her on the movie news like last week. So
Oh, I don't pay attention to the news.
I mean, she's in a great movie.
Oh wait, I know who that chick is.
well, I'm proud of you.
Okay, so I'm just trying to picture the face in another movie. Okay, so Vera Farmiga was in the Up in the Air with George Clooney.
That's the one you choose. Okay, fair enough.
Hey, I just had to pick something.
True.
George Clooney was in Fantastic Mr. Fox with Meryl Streep.
You could have used you could have used a bigger fuck you. Mario Batali was also in that film, one of the greatest Iron Chefs ever. Meryl Streep, Mario Batali.
That's gonna say.
Okay, stop getting him all hot on pizza. Let's move along. Good lord.
Can't actually eat pizza, so fuck you.
You can't? Sorry.
Cheese, and I hate tomato sauce.
Okay.
So
Oh my
so
God.
Meryl Streep was in. Meryl Streep was in Stuck on You with Greg Kinnear.
That sounds stupid.
Really? Of all Meryl Streep on there?
Is it me now?
No,
it's
it's
Cody.
Oh, it's Cody.
Oh, it's
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick? Oh,
Stuck on You.
Greg Kinnear.
Oh, okay.
Not impossible.
Greg Kinnear was in As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson.
Now me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Jack Nicholson was in The Shining with Shelley Duvall.
Ooh, good one. Oh, I have a great one for sure.
Shelley Duvall was in Popeye with Robin Williams.
Yes, that's what I was gonna go with.
I was hoping somebody would.
Oh, man.
Oh, very sure.
Robin Williams was in Robots with Drew Carey.
That's luck, Cody.
Ooh. Ooh, he did have an extra fuck you in there.
God dang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're American.
Drew Carey.
Oh my God. Wow.
Well, I
Wow.
wish he would be able to stump me on this. But Drew Carey was actually in The Shit Fire of Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler.
Huh.
He was?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
He is Drew Carey, but he's in the movie.
He's
So
in the
It's in
movie.
the movie, yeah.
All right, so that's me now, right?
Yeah.
because she plays, I think she plays The Price is Right.
Oh, yeah. No, he's correct.
All right, so Adam Sandler is in. Oh, damn, I was gonna use that, but no, it's too easy. Oh no, it's actually good because it won't screw me. Adam Sandler was in Grown Ups 2 with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, nice. Sir.
Well, there's an out for Shaquille. There's a few.
There's a couple actually.
Shaquille O'Neal was in Scary Movie 3 with Anna Faris.
That's
he is.
correct.
Incorrect.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite.
No, he's
opening
correct. No, he is.
movie.
It's
He's,
the fourth.
No,
yeah,
I'm saying-
it's him. Oh,
It's the
No,
fourth
isn't
one.
it-
That's
oh yeah, I know this. Sorry, this is Scary Movie
Dr.
4.
Phil?
It's him and Dr. Phil. Wrong foot.
Yeah.
Scary
Wrong
Movie 4.
That's what I said.
It's the
Fuck.
fourth one.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
my favorite opening.
Malcolm, unfortunately, is that though. Although that is a great pull.
Damn.
So it's my turn.
No, it's my turn to get start fresh.
One did.
Okay. Oh, you get to pass it right to me. Don't be a dick.
Okay, I won't be a dick. Mike Myers. Yeah, we'll go with that. Mike Myers was in Austin Powers and Goldmember with Michael Caine.
Okay.
Michael
Caine was in. Oh shit!
Yeah.
What was that movie?
That's a great movie.
Yeah. Oh shit! Was a great movie, right?
Oh shit.
Oh. Okay. Michael Caine was in. I'll have to switch base. Michael Caine was in Now You See Me with Jesse Eisenberg. I wanted to do one of my favorite movies from the last couple of years.
I like that movie. Jesse Eisenberg was in The Social Network with Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield was in Silence with Liam Neeson.
That movie's great.
Liam Neeson was in so many shitty movies.
How dare you?
Don't even tell me that I'm not wrong. Liam Neeson was in Schindler's List with Ben Kingsley.
Okay. All right. Ben Kingsley was in Iron Man 3 with Don Cheadle.
Okay. I can work with that. I can work with that.
That's not a bad one.
Okay. Don Cheadle was in Ocean's 11 with Scott Caan.
Why do you always do Scott Caan? Like that's always like
because he loves Scott Caan, Cody. I think it's
apparently.
Okay.
Scott Caan. I gotta remember which one.
I've got one for him.
There's a huge one,
massive one.
Okay, everybody, be nice.
You got this, Cody. You can do it.
Don't cheat on your competitors.
Not on the one that I would say, but Scott Caan was in Into the Blue with Jessica Alba.
Oh God!
All right, Jessica. I don't even care. I'm just staying in the game as long as I possibly can. I don't care how easy it is. Jessica Alba was in the Fantastic Four with Chris Evans.
Okay.
I love the
Chris Evans was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World with Thomas Jane.
I knew that's where you were going to go. Thomas Jane. That's the Punisher, right? I believe. Thomas Jane was in The Punisher with Kevin Nash.
Oh, I got one for Kevin Nash.
I do too.
So do I.
You have one.
Oh yeah, Kevin Nash.
He's a wrestling guy, so yeah, there it is.
Kevin Nash was in Magic Mike with. Kevin Nash was in Magic Mike with. Let's go with Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Abe's
I was
favorite.
thinking you were going.
Matthew McConaughey was in Interstellar with Timothy Chalamet.
In that movie?
He plays the younger version of Casey Affleck.
Okay. The Forgotten Child in that movie.
Yeah. The one that wasn't named Murph.
Murph. You're definitely not my favorite, but Murph.
Who do I have? What's his name?
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, Timothy Chalamet, I didn't know how to say it, was in Lady Bird with Laurie Metcalf.
Laurie Metcalf was where?
How long has this been going? For good lord.
It's been going on for quite a bit. Like
But
at
I'm
least
enjoying it.
it's great.
All right. Laurie Metcalf was in. Oh, I got to get the right one. She was in Scream 2 with Neve Campbell.
That's correct.
Yeah, you guys wanted to get Dickie on me? There it is.
I didn't go Dickie.
Okay.
Kevin Nash was.
We're gonna throw it a Hail Mary here and hope for the best. Neve Campbell was in Not Another Teen Movie with Allison Finnegan, but I'm probably wrong, or Flanagan, whatever the hell her last name is.
I don't.
Yeah, someone look it up.
Abe's looking.
What movie did you say?
I said Bev Campbell was in Not Another Teen Movie with Allison Flanagan, but I'm probably
Not
wrong.
another teen movie.
I don't even think he was in that movie.
No, I know the actress, but I couldn't tell you another movie that she in that doesn't Scream.
Oh no, she's not in that movie.
Oh.
That's fine. So that
So
means it's up.
so
Yeah,
it's me?
Cody. No, Cody gets to start fresh.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't answer my question.
I did. Oh, I was
the next
incorrect.
person goes.
No,
But the
he
next person
got it
oh.
wrong.
Okay. Gotcha.
Johnny Knoxville was in Dukes of Hazzard with Jessica Simpson. I'm tired of playing this.
Watch him pull a Jessica Simpson movie.
I'll be pissed.
It's the one I love.
I don't even know if she's done another movie.
I don't think she has.
Yeah, she has.
Oh,
I love one of her movies.
All right, Jessica Simpson was in. Yeah. Was in Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have no clue.
She was in the Love Guru and Employee of the Month.
Employee of the Month.
She was in Love Guru?
Yeah.
That's Jessica Alba.
No,
Jessica
that's
Alba.
Jessica Simpson. She plays herself.
Plays Jessica Simpson, but she's in
Oh,
Hulk.
really?
See, I barely remember Jessica Simpson in that movie. Anyways, so Cody, by somehow, is the winner of 7 degrees or 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
That means I'm losing tonight. That's just fact.
We will
defend the title.
We will move on to a new-ish topic or a new-ish segment. Generally, what we've done with special guests like William Bibiani, like Winston Marshall, like Chance Ellison, is that we have interviewed these competitors to get a mindset of just like the Schmodown experience and their other stuff, like their podcasts and all that and whatnot. But what I wanted to do is I want to do this with people in the fan community because I feel like a lot of you guys that are watching this right now are already in that fan community, and I feel like there's a plethora of wealth and knowledge and stories that we can get from people. Like there's people that I want to pick their brains at. And who we're going to start with today is none other than fellow Canadian Sandy Robinson. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna see how it goes, and this might be This might be like a once a month, twice a month thing. We're gonna see how it goes. So Sandy, I'm gonna ask you the first question here, and then I'll open it up to the panel. I'm genuinely just curious as to how you discovered either Collider or Schmoes or AMC back in the day, and then just essentially your journey from where you discovered them to where you discovered the fan leagues, and I guess essentially Jeremy Adams, because Jeremy Adams is essentially your brother, to essentially today.
Okay, so the easy answer to where I found Collider, and I didn't even hit onto the into the Schmodown first. I was I was bored and watching YouTube, and sometimes I have insomnia, so sometimes I'm just sitting there watching things on YouTube with headphones on, and I just got bored of everything else, so I started getting recommendations from YouTube. So the Comic Storian was something that popped up, so I was listening to the Comic Storian, and then when that episode was done, it actually listed it was an episode of Collider Movie Talk was on there because it was dealing with the same topic as what the Comic Storian had just talked about. So I was like, oh, hey, that looks like some fun. You know, it's a TV show or something along those lines. So I clicked on it and I was hooked ever since. I listened to Movie Talk religiously. Then I found Jedi Council, listened to that religiously. Then I inadvertently watched an episode of the Schmoes Know Show, the live show, one of the old ones, and saw them do the very first, what would become the Schmodown on there, and fell in love and started looking for the Schmodown right away. And the very first match I ever watched was John Roca and Scott Mance 1. And that's where I fell in love with John Roca. So that's how I found Collider. Sorry, that was a little bit long-winded. What was the rest of the question?
Just I guess from there, like how you came into like the fan leagues and how you came out to find Jeremy Adams, like essentially your team 80s brother in arms.
For sure, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been so long and everything moves so fast in our community. We were a couple of people, Jeremy included, and another person were starting the Fan Reaction League up, and they knew right away that it was going to be hard for them to do it all by themselves. So they had to bring some other people in, and I'd been pretty vocal and stuff like that on Facebook groups and chatting with people and stuff like that, and being part of the reactions and stuff. And they had seen that and brought me on around the same time as Alex and Chance and Russell and all those guys came on. And that was how I met. That's how I met everybody in the community. Jeremy and I became friends really fast, like really fast. Because I mean, we have one thing in common: we're both older, you know. So we have a bit more life experience that we experienced together, and so we just became friends, and we knew that we had a lot in common. He's so much more smarter. He's way more smart, you know, than I am when it comes to movies. So his wealth of knowledge was so interesting to me, and his perspective on movies was so interesting to me that we always had something to talk about. And yeah, it just grew from there on. And we were, you know, when we were thinking about when we left and then moved over to just the trivia leagues, we really wanted to team up together and see what we could do as with our talents, and you know, we've done okay so far. So yeah, that's how I met Jeremy. He's my best friend on the community, and I love him to bits.
Right. I'll open it up to the panel here. Cody, I know you said your hand raised.
Yeah, I like to know about a person like I think Schmodown and all that stuff pretty much brought us all together. I want to know, like, what kind of movies, like, is your wheelhouse? Like, I'm like the sports mob, kind of, those different, and I can go for a comedy. So, like, what movies do you find yourself gravitating to more often than not that are some of your favorites? I know you like all kinds of stuff, but what's, like, your bread and butter, like, your wheelhouse?
Yeah, I mean, anything that's got like a huge fandom behind it, you know, like the geek stuff I'm really, really passionate about. Of course, I'm a huge Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and like stuff like that. I'll find myself going back to that. But I mean, you hit right on it. I love a lot of different genres, even stuff that I didn't even know about. My wife and I are watching lots of old movies now. I mean, it's Noir-vember, so we got a bunch of noir movies that we're gonna watch. But my wheelhouse is obviously inner geekdom style movies. So yeah, that's usually where when I have nothing else to watch, nothing new to watch, I always just rewatch one of those. So that's where I go.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep it open to the panel. Matt, Malcolm, Abe.
I guess.
No, go ahead, Matt.
No, Abe, you can go.
No, my question is way more stupid Way
Oh,
more
okay.
stupid than yours.
My first question was gonna be, where's Jimmy Adams? No, Jeremy Adams seems like a good guy. I've never met him before. But no. So I guess my question is, if you could be on any Collider show that is not the Schmodown, which one would you? If you could be a guest on one episode, which show would it be?
You know this, and it's a perfect question for you to ask me because we're both such huge fans. I would love to be on Jedi Council. I think sitting there and just completely nerding out to Star Wars for an hour or so would be awesome. We do it on a regular basis, me and Matt, so it's great. So, but yeah, if I was gonna pick one show that they were gonna say you can just be on one show for one episode, I'd say okay, I'm gonna be on Jedi Council.
Yeah.
Abe.
Abe, yeah.
Oh. What kind of movies made you cry?
Anything where, that's a great question because like I'll flat out admit there are some movies that I cry to. Most of the time it's anything animal related. If something happens to an animal, I try to avoid those movies, but every once in a while one surprises me. I watched John Wick and was weeping within 10 minutes of that movie, so that sucked. But anytime, I guess the main ones is anytime when there's a heroic struggle and somebody who's trying to save. I'm a big disaster movie guy, so whenever somebody's trying to save the world and they sacrifice themselves for that thing, that affects me. And anything that any movie that somebody has recently passed away that I've been a big fan of, like when Paul Walker passed away, anytime I watched a Fast and Furious movie after that, I was weepy for it too. So yeah, those are mostly it.
What are some of your favorite TV shows?
Right now or all time?
Of all time.
My favorite TV show of all time is Smallville. I love Smallville. Right close to that was Beverly Hills 90210. Kill me if you guys want, but I loved that show right from the beginning. So it was just really fun to me to watch a bunch of rich kids around Beverly Hills having a good time. It was fun. All the Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Voyager, not so much Enterprise, but Discovery is actually okay. And I like comedies, anything that's like a good comedy. Like right now we're watching The Kids Are All Right. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a show back in the 70s. It's Michael Chiklis. It's pretty funny. I enjoy that show right now.
Cool. Jessica Morgan has a question in the chat, and her question is, what's your favorite Trek film that isn't Wrath of Khan?
That's a great question, Jessica.
We discussed that actually.
We discussed that.
But you can spoil it.
Yeah, I will actually spoil it, but it is my second favorite Star Trek film, and it would be Star Trek First Contact. For the reasons you'll see a lot of the reasons on there, but I love the Enterprise E. I think it's one of the best starships that's ever been created. Sovereign class, its destructive power is awesome, but it's fantastically designed, and it's got the Borg, and I love the Borg. So.
All right, I got a last question here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. If you could sit down with any person currently living today for 1 hour and just pick their brain, who would it be and why?
Oh Jesus! Wow, it's so much easier when you say somebody who's dead because you can always pick like somebody from like 50,000 years ago and want to have a chat with them. But
it's okay to say me. It's not a big deal.
No, it's Cody. I can't hide it anymore. It's Cody.
Typical Boston Cody. Just has to think highly of himself. Oh no, you can say me, Sandy.
You know what?
At least I can say late night with Take Three and not sound like a dumbass. Go ahead, Sandy.
Other than Cody, the one person that I would love to sit down with, because I don't want to sit with somebody down that's not going to have a conversation with me. They're just going to be like grumpy, like it's some press junket or something like that. I want to actually sit down and have a conversation with this person. And I think this would be a great one, would be William Shatner. I would love to sit down with William Shatner, not just because he's Canadian and I can, talk to him on that level as well, but I'm such a huge Star Trek fan, and I've read all of his books. They're fantastic, and he's just awesome. And I would love to hear what he has to say and about his life and everything about it. Yeah.
Star Trek's the one with the laser swords, right?
You know what, Cody? You
There
can
goes.
go. The door's right there. You can leave.
I've actually got a follow-up question from that. With the exception of the people on the panel right now, which member of the fan community would you like to visit in real life?
What the fuck? Why can't he say me or Cody? Malcolm, why you acting like that?
The fuck?
Okay, so I mean, the obvious answer is I would go to LA and I would visit Jeremy. But while I'm in LA, I'd be able to see a whole whackload more stuff too. So I'd be able to go and meet the Schmodown guys. I'd be pounding on the door until they let me in. But let me in, please. No, but absolutely, I would. Jeremy and I have become so close, for such a long time now that I would love to go and visit him.
All right, now follow-up question, including the people on this panel, which means you're me or Jeremy, pretty much.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to. For my wife, because she loves New Zealand, I would go with my wife to visit Malcolm, because I want to
pull favor later.
No.
This is shit.
No. You guys are killing me. I was getting to the rest of the panel. I was getting to everybody. And because Brooklyn lives out east, and that's eventually where I want to. Hey, hold on. I'm getting.
Right on your third or fourth choice, Sandy.
I am going left on my screen. Malcolm was just first. Matthew and Brooklyn are back east, so I would absolutely go and visit both of them while I'm there. I don't know if there's any way I'm ever going to visit Abe. I'm not sure where.
California. Whoa,
all right. Then I'm gonna go and visit Abe when I go and visit Jeremy, and wherever Cody lives, I'm just gonna send him a plane ticket to come wherever I'm gonna be, and he's just gonna come. So
we're going to Tijuana to get some food. What?
Hey, yeah, Tijuana's where I got my first ball ever.
I'm gonna go hang out with Abe so I can get that damn sandwich he talked about the last time he was on, because that thing is better than anything we pitched.
I would love to visit. Visit everybody. So.
All right, so that's going to bring us into our next topic, which is press conference. And actually, it's going to be Sandy that is going to be announcing his press conference. So for those of you who are not familiar, on one of the greatest shows ever, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Colin Mockery, the great Canadian that he was, would grab a podium and he would announce this massive press conference. But he would not know what he is announcing, but everybody else did, and they would give him questions in the form of they gave him hints in the form of questions, and then he would answer them, and it's pretty hilarious, and it's been probably like one of my favorite aspects of the show so far. So before we begin the press conference, I want to reiterate to the interviewers: do you guys know what we're doing here?
Yep,
you got it.
I'm so ready to ask my question.
I'm just wondering: is that guy Colin? Is he passed on, or is he not Canadian anymore?
All right, Sandy, Sandy, call this press conference started.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Sandy the Sandman Robinson from Full Metal and Take 3 Productions. I would, I'll open it up to the panel right now. Hi there, you with the Boston Red Sox hat, I think.
Who the hell do you think you are? That's all I want to know. Who the actual hell do you think you are?
I'm pretty sure that I answered that at the beginning of the press conference, but I will move on to the next question.
You have some serious nerve. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll Team Action shirt there. I don't even know what that means, but Team Action, you go next.
Hi, Matt Kearns of Hot Takes, just for the sake of having a different opinion.net. I'm just wondering, what you're about to embark on, some people would call an easy task. I'm just wondering, how do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good. It's only an easy task because I make it look easy. We'll go to the guy in the black shirt over here. Yeah, short hair. You, no beard,
hi,
no mustache.
Hi, Tim Horton from the Daily Double Double. First of all, this is long awaited. This is one of the greatest moments in Canadian history. The second thing is, what are you going to do to prepare for such a big event?
Well, I think there's a case to be made that you can prepare too much for these events. I think that spontaneity is important. So I don't think that I'll do much more than I've already done to prepare. I think I'm just going to go in and start to work right away.
All right.
Red Sox guy.
Some say this would be a fucking impossible task that you're taking on. So how are you? Are you sure you want to go down this road? And do you see yourself coming out the victor? Because percentage has you at 0 to 1. You will never win this fight. That's what they're saying.
Well, I love that there are doubters in the corner. There seems to be an awful lot of them. I can only focus on the fact that I can only control my own outcome and learn from from past mistakes. You with the beard, the great looking beard over there.
Why did you pick this person?
Ooh, who's a goodie?
Well, I picked this person because I think that they have an opportunity, and I'm there to facilitate that opportunity. So I believe in this person. I believe in what this person is capable of, and I can only hope that we're destined to come out on top. Yeah, you once again we'll go with team action. Team action there.
So, after this task is completed, how are you going to celebrate?
Well, I mean, there's no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome, I'm going to celebrate because I'm going to give it my 100%. And, as long as I know that I gave it 100%, I'm going to be pretty happy with the outcome. But, if we have an opportunity to be on the victorious side, I think a nice vacation would be in order. I think 2 weeks in Cabo Wabo, maybe hang out with Sammy Hagar would be nice. Thanks for that question there. Let's go over to the other black-shirted guy who had his hand up there.
Oh, sorry, new reporter here. Brooklyn Vale, Cody still sucks hourly.com. My question is, what sort of artillery are you bringing into this? What should we expect?
Well, I mean, to quote the great Sean William Scott in the movie The Rundown, I got a little bit of thunder, I got a little bit of lightning. So I mean, I don't need much more than that. That's all I got to say. You over there with the gray shirt, with black hair, yeah. What's going on?
Hi, my name is Johnny. I wanted to ask you, are you afraid of death?
You know what? The only thing in life that's absolutely guaranteed is death and taxes. So I'm not afraid of taxes, although I don't like them. So I cannot be afraid of death. It's eventually going to come for us all. It's eventually going to come to us all. So you know what? That's all that's it. I'm not afraid. Let's go to Cody Sucks Daily.
Yes. Okay. My question and then Matt's question. We'll call it a day.
Okay.
Do you think that a closed-ended question is the best weapon for your strategy?
Yes. And we will go. And who's the last person who had a question?
Matt has the final question.
Okay. Team action.
So, do you think performing this service, not just to America, but to the world, you should be tax exempt for the rest of your life?
Well, I mean, taxes are a part of life, but I mean, if the task that I am going to do, which is possibly going up to an asteroid and drilling, I'm okay with the government paying me back with no taxes.
Well, you're far off, but
all right. A will be the final question here.
What makes you hate this person? Is it the beard or the love for something?
The unrequited love.
I try to hate nobody with a beard. We're a small community of people. It's hard. A lot of people try to grow beards, and you get that, you get that Sidney Crosby beard where it's like sort of here and there and up here, and there's nothing over here, and down here there's some. But so people who grow beards, I'm pretty okay with.
All right, Sandy. I think that's enough questions for you there. Any guess as to what you're announcing?
I am going to say that I'm either going up against Cody or I'm managing Cody in the World Debate Championships.
That it's close enough. You're declaring war on Cody.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, brother. Hulk Hogan won't save your ass this time.
He will if it's a close-ended question with John Cena.
That was great. That was good. That's awesome. Yeah. No.
Cody,
Matt totally got me off the wrong track there with this question. I was like sitting there going, "Am I Bruce Willis in Armageddon trying to save the world? What the hell are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, that can't be it."
Cody was my favorite in the opening. I was waiting for him to say it. Sorry, at the gate. You think you are?
Where do you think you are? I didn't know what he. I thought that I was like, okay. I don't know what he is. I thought you guys were like I was Trump or something like that. You guys were all on me, but yeah, no,
never do that.
No, good.
All right, guys. So that takes us into our next item, or our next item up for bid. Not item up for bid.
What?
It is the news. We will call upon Matt's roommates and or the hitchhikers that he picked up one day and they never left. But say hi to the cool kids in the chat. Jessica saying that hubby wants to meet Malcolm. I haven't told him that he lives on the wrong island. And then Brooklyn and I need to get together and swap recipes. That is definitely a thing. Who else? We got Jonathan Peck. We got the cool guy. Matt was in there for a little bit. But Cody, how would you feel going up against War with Sandy?
Going up against what?
How would you feel going to war against Sandy?
Well, this is nothing against Sandy. It's just what Canadians do. They'll sign up for a fight and then back out when it means most. So I think I would be able to take it. No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't fight Sandy. Like I have too much respect for him. You, on the other hand, fucking bring it on. But Sandy, man, we would wind up meeting each other and being like, all right, it's time to do this, and then be like, let's just not.
Let's just go have a beer.
Yeah, let's go watch Star Trek. Let's watch Star Trek for the first time.
That's right.
Alrighty, so I got word that Vinny has been summoned using the proper rituals and lock combinations. So, Vinny, whenever you're ready, can you please give us the news?
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Vinny here. You can follow me on Twitter at VinnySalone76. I want to let you all know before I start the news, I'm actually starting to write a book. It's called The Ultimate Stallone Biography. And it's going to be wicked freaking awesome. I swear to God. Okay, so now it's time for your Day 3 News Roundup. First up, we got Catherine Lamford. She joins the cast of that comic book movie with the people in it. I think it's DC. It's Avengers 4. I don't know what happened to the other 3. Second thing, that Barbie Fett movie, yeah, that shit's not happening no more. Sorry, nuts. My God. Next, we got a bunch of people. We got a guy who's Thomason McKenzie, Amy Ryan. They joined the Lost Girls movie, which I think is the sequel to Lost Boys from the 90s. I saw that movie on cable once when Matt was asleep, and I sliced it. Julius Avery, he's going to helm a Flash Gordon movie. I don't know what the fuck a Flash Gordon is. Next, we got that chick, Chloe Grace Moretz, and that dude, Jack O'Connell. They're going to be Bonnie and Clyde. What? What's a Bonnie and what's a Clyde? Okay, that's not the last name, but Tyler Perry, says that he's ending the Medea character. That's too bad, because my grandma, she really loved those movies. Of course, she's blind and deaf, so who knows what she likes. Okay, comment. You should comment for this next one. Hi, I'm Kermit Frog here. Ewan McGregor, he's in talks to play Black Mask, or as I like to call it, finally, someone in the Star Wars prequels did something past those films. Suck it, Hayden. Second, we got Gladiator 2 is in the works because Ridley Scott can't make a movie that doesn't suck ass. Sorry that Alien Resurrection or whatever didn't work out for you. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back here for Vinny's Trailers Breakdown. So first, we got a Medea family funeral, as I like to call it, a good time. Next, we got Spies in Disguise, because, them spies, they're always in disguise. Then we got, oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, Matt hasn't shut the hell up about this movie. He's all like Kurt Russell, this Kurt Russell shit. I'm so tired of it. Have you guys ever heard someone just not shut up about a guy before? I mean,
yeah, it's actually Cody about me, so.
Oh, okay.
Go fuck yourself.
I don't know what. Cody, the Red Sox dude over there. Jesus, man. And then finally, trailer film we called Isn't Romantic, which I'm going to assume means it's not a romantic film. Okay, so that's it for you. Oh, wait, no. There was one more piece of news. Mr. Feeney beat the shit out of a robber, which is pretty freaking sweet, guys. Okay, so that's it for your Take 3 News Roundup. You can follow me, Vinny Stallone, at Vinny Stallone76 on Twitter. Support my book, The Ultimate Stallone Biography. It's going to be amazing. We're going to start from when Stallone was a little baby, and he started doing some reps, and then he grew up into a wicked, freaking awesome guy. Okay, you can follow my buddy Kermit at Kermit the Frog on Twitter. He's verified. I swear to God, guys, start tagging us on Twitter together. We're real friends. Okay, so yeah, peace out, everybody.
Oh boy, Vinny. That was quite the voice cracks that you had there. Matt, have you had it? I mean, just Vinny sounds like he's going through this phase where girls and guys may not look the same. Maybe growing hair that's not normal for him.
Oh God,
maybe getting taller.
It's not called voice crack. It's Malcolm decides to choose the hardest to pronounce fucking names in the world. That's what it's called.
So then shouldn't Vinny get some I don't know, some diction lessons, I guess. I don't know. What lessons?
Coming from the guy that can't say late night with Take 3. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, Vinny Stallone here. Again, follow me at Vinny Stallone 76 on Twitter. Check out my book, The Ultimate Stallone Biography. Who the fuck are you, Canadian?
Hi, I'm the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. I host not one but two shows on Late Night with Take 3.
Yeah, they're the two shows that no one watches on this network. You know my show, The Summit, before they got that Vin Diesel prick, was the #1 show on this channel. #1. Fuck you, Diesel.
Oh,
man.
Vinny, goddamn.
Oh, Vinny's on fire tonight.
Maybe only one Miller a night would be best for him.
Yeah, I think.
Listen, I'm sorry. Can I just, to anyone in the American Welfare Department, stop giving him money. He's not actually searching for a job, okay? He gets drunk with a puppet in his closet apartment. He's not actively searching for a job. Stop giving him money, okay?
There's going to be all kinds of letters sent out to Kurt's household.
If he doesn't get the welfare check, that means you're going to have to buy his Millers. You might want to.
I can finally kick him out.
Have you ever just thought changing the key?
You know what the thing is? I do, but he's the type of guy who his key wouldn't work. He'd just break my window with a rock. So at this point, it's
sometimes Matthew, you need to just sometimes. Buckle up, muscle up, and be like, you know what? Enough is enough. You need to break the chain and say, Vinny, GTFO.
Hey. Shut the fuck up.
Nah.
Again, follow me at Vinny Stallone 76 on Twitter.
Okay,
stop. My book.
Oh my God.
Alrighty. Vinny is actually getting really close to Nico Suave Rigoli record of the most plugs in one night.
So guys, by the way, he's not writing a book. He can't even read, for God's sakes.
Well, I mean, he didn't read the news.
Did he though, or did Kermit?
But then how is he actually? But then how is he actually doing it then?
Because Kermit whispers in his ear what it says.
So
Kermit.
first of all, movie news: Tyler Perry is ending the Medea character. Thank fuck. Boba Fett movie is canceled. Thank fuck. Ewan McGregor is Black Mask. Thank fuck. Under the condition that they get it right, because I have a weird thing. I feel like the best part of Ewan McGregor is actually his eyes. So if they do design it, I really think it should be from the nose down. That's a weird thing. Because seriously, I think Ewan McGregor's face. I think he has like.
No,
I think he has.
It's
really,
not that I'm laughing at.
what the fuck, Abe?
That's
This is the equivalent in Anchorman when Ron Corningstone points out, Ron Burgundy, you have a massive erection right now. So it's like, Abe, you have pink hair. What the fuck happened?
it's just the light.
I don't think that's Abe anymore.
I'm Jessica Simpson.
Yes, rather. Ewan McGregor, I'm excited about as long as he gets the costume design right. Because Ewan McGregor's face is not a face that you cover. Also, what's her name from 13 Reasons Why cast in Avengers 4? Get your tinfoil hats on. Get your conspiracy theories. I think she's going to be cast Kate Bishop, a.k.a. Hawkeye 2, which means that we are one step closer to the Young Avengers. I'm really happy, and I'm really hoping that they go in that route. Cody, as you give me a squinted-eyed look of confusion and distraught, what movie news stood out to you this week?
Did you just say Ewan McGregor's not a face you can cover?
Ewan McGregor is on a face you can entirely cover.
Why?
Because he has a really nice nice face. Like,
who gives a fuck? He's playing Black Mask. It's a character. Put the mask on and play the character. You make no sense.
Hashtag bro crush Brooklyn Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay. That's
hey,
fine.
Brooklyn, you have a massive erection right now. Okay, so
well, that's convenient because Cody blows hourly. So I mean, it's gonna get taken care of.
Not from that distance. Okay, so the two news that I'm really curious about. The two news
is American English at its finest.
Okay. The two that I want to talk about is Tyler Perry finally shooting Medea in the head. Thank gosh, because those Boo movies have been atrocious. The last good one was probably Medea Goes to Jail. So I'm glad that one's coming to an end. And how Tyler Perry described it, I'm tired. So that's the best thing I've ever heard. We're putting the old bitch down, is what he said. So I appreciate that. Gladiator 2. What the actual fuck? Like, this is, if I've never seen like the most acts of desperation, this like reminds me of like guys in high schools that would just message girls on like Facebook because thought they were interesting, but didn't know them. Like, you are being so desperate at this time. Ridley Scott, stop. Just retire or come up with a better concept. Don't go revisit something that won Best Picture once. It doesn't need a sequel. It's a good movie. Like, it's so confusing.
Yes.
Thank God that Jessica agrees with me. She says, "Can you blame him? He is the second hottest person in the prequels." Thank you, Jessica, for understanding why Ewan McGregor is one of the most hits.
Hey, who's the first? Hayden?
I imagine Liam Neeson.
No, no, Jessica, answer that question for us in the comments below. Who's the first?
All right, we'll go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, since you are the wrangler of the news, what news stood out to you this week?
I mean, just touch on Black Mask. I mean, if the his face is going to have to be completely covered because that's the character. You can't just have a half mask and it's not the character. Black Mask is an entire mask. But for me, the Lost Skills Netflix thing sounds interesting. I was trying to find on my phone what it's about. I can't actually remember what it's about now. But I mean, Thomasin McKenzie is as in Leave No Trace, and there's lots of talks of her being nominated for an Oscar. So this could be really interesting. Plus, she's a New Zealander, so yeah, I could be a bit biased on that, but but I mean, and Boba Fett movie not happening, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not what I wanted, and I'm thinking that's partly because maybe his story's going to tie in with this Mandalorian TV series as well.
Just getting my sign ready for when it eventually comes up. Abe, what movie news to know for you this week? Oh, and Jessica answers Natalie Portman.
No, okay, fair enough.
Nah, she's underage.
Not in the.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm reading the question in the news. Well, something. Flash Gordon getting a different director because I don't know if you guys remember Matthew Bond was supposed to direct the movie, and I think it's interesting they moving forward without him. Well, he's doing a third Kingsman movie, so probably that makes sense. I don't know which studio's doing it, so that makes me intrigued. And the trailer for Isn't It Romantic? I love romantic comedies, and when they make fun of them in this way, it's great.
All right, so we'll go.
No.
We'll go to Sandy.
Okay, so I don't really care who joins Avengers 4. I just want it to be here. Quit adding cast members because get the movie done, get it done right, and let me see it. I don't care. Boba Fett movie, didn't care about that, and now that they're making a TV show about it, that's pretty much what they're doing. Flash Gordon movie, I sure hope that they use the awesome song from Queen that wasn't on there, but I hope that gets brought up there sometime. Best song ever. Chloe Grace Moretz and Jack O'Connell as Bonnie and Clyde, don't care. Tyler Perry, I agree with Brooklyn 100%. And I absolutely agree with Cody. What in the absolute ass are you talking about when you're sitting there thinking about doing a Gladiator 2 movie? Are you kidding me? Like, everybody died in the last one. Are you like, there's no part 2 to this. It's done. It's over with. Don't
to very simply answer your question, it's because studios, they like money. Yeah. Oh man, they like the money.
And then the last two things, I'm stoked for Ewan McGregor to play the Black Mask. I think that he can bring a real awesome energy to it. So I'm hoping that that's great. And I also agree with Matt. I am really looking forward to A Christmas Chronicle. I think that the trailer looks great. I think Kurt Russell looks great in it. I think it's going to be a great little action Christmas movie.
Yeah. Matt, anything else that you need to that you wanted to add when we do sit up for you this week?
What do you mean? I didn't get to talk about the news yet. Didn't get to talk about it yet.
Well, all right, sorry, try this again. Mr. Kearns, bridesmaid, Mr. Kearns. What movie news?
Oh, I love this. I give up my time and I get blown in these shots. Okay, thank you. Christmas Chronicle it looks great. I like the version of Santa they're going with. I like how the trailer kind of opens up with Kurt Russell just turning to camera and being like, "Come on, kids are smart than this. What are you doing?" Gladiator 2. What are you doing, Ridley Scott? Like, I get that, like, all your other outings with the Aliens films have failed, so you're moving on to your next popular thing, but just Gladiator was a great film. It won Best Picture. It did all these things. Leave it be. Your main character is dead. What story are you going to tell 18 years later? There's no purpose to it. Just, I guess studios are all about the money, but just leave this one be. The Boba Fett movie being canceled, I really don't care about. I don't care.
The Gladiator story is supposed to be spiritual of how Maximus gets to heaven and meets with God. That was the rumor a year ago.
Listen, I don't care. Just leave it be. And then finally, not finally, Tyler Perry saying the Medea character is ending. Thank God. I think the joke of Tyler Perry dressing up as a woman was dead 2 didn't he make a
20
TV
years
show
ago.
about it? Like, I just stop, man. And then Ewan McGregor, Black Mask, I think he's a great actor. Great choice. And Brooklyn's take on it sounds a lot like when Tom Cruise was going to play Iron Man and he needed to be seen in the mask the whole time. So I was thinking about during Brooklyn's explanation.
Okay. I'll go to Cody first, then I'll re-explain myself because you guys think I'm a fucking moron. Cody.
Reminded me what Tom Cruise said.
No, what you're saying is, I get what you're saying, that you're saying he's a very good-looking and attractive actor, that it would be a disservice to put him under a mask. But if the character provided for it, I think he could play a great menacing character behind the mask.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I love the power of the internet. So Bad Boys 3 got released, that it's coming or whatever. This is a post that's on Facebook right now. It says Bad Boys 3. It's literally a poster with those two on it, including Jamie Foxx from the poster of his movie Sleepless and Denzel Washington from his poster of Equalizer 2. And it says it's going to break box office records. Almost 20,000 shares and comments on this thing that people think it's real.
Oh my god.
They never said it. It's from two different posters, but this is the power of how stupid the internet is. This is literally what it looks like right here. It's Denzel Washington and Jamie Foxx on
That's not even... Martin Lawrence and Will Smith don't look like that anymore, guys.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Wow.
But, okay, you can explain yourself for being an idiot. Go ahead.
Essentially, to make a long story short, why wouldn't you give Ewan McGregor like the Winter Soldier thing?
Okay.
Like, would that work?
That's not the character.
Not for the character Black Mask.
Yeah,
I don't think he will cover his face either way unless it's something like Red Skull.
But also, like, to rebuttal like the Tom Cruise thing, is that you got to see, like, whenever it was in action, like they cut to like inside the suit and you saw Robert De Niro's face. It's not like as soon as it's not like as soon as you hit action, that it's just in the Iron Man suit. But Malcolm, sorry.
The thing with Black Mask is they might show like maybe flashback scenes of him before he became sort of with the mask, and like they'll probably find a way if it works in the story of this movie of there. But the other thing is Jonathan Pegg actually says in the chat that apparently Gladiator 2 is going to be the continuing story of Lucius, which is the son of Lucilla and the nephew of Commodus. So it's not going to be sort of the Russell Crowe. That's according to sources.
You mean the really boring kid from Gladiator? Yeah. No, thank you. Also, Brooklyn, you're not. I get what you're saying, especially since Ewan McGregor is an actor who's a very good facial actor. I get what you're saying about not wanting to cover the face, but also, it depends on how, again, what we've seen time and time again since 1978 with Superman, the movie, comic book costumes and everything have been changed and everything in the time. So who knows what version they're going to go with. They might do a Winter Soldier thing or they might not.
maybe they do blackface. Not a chance in fucking hell.
That's not going to touch
that one racist, dude.
Yeah. It is.
Say that.
Okay.
What an asshole, Brooklyn. I want Cody on this.
I do apologize for that comment. That was
kidding. That was a great job.
It was fine.
Okay,
you're right.
Cool.
They won't be touching that. Like,
no, they never will be.
Back here, they won't be. Brooklyn won't be back here next week to be the host of the show.
It's like casting Kevin Spacey as Black Mask.
Oh my God, Brooklyn!
Right,
this whole.
Okay, so my point that I had for discussion was Birds of Prey is looking to bring in this I guess a C grade Batman villain. I don't think he's quite B grade. But what other villain would you like to see from even just DC lore in general for Birds of Prey? Nothing?
Yeah, I don't think this movie needs to be made. I'm so confused. I am so confused by the DCEU. It's confusing at this point. Like, I wish they would just hit the reset button. Like, I understand you have great characters and stuff like that, but like just pushing out movies that might not tie in or may be not as good, you're losing favor every time you put out a bad movie. So I think Batman has the most intriguing villains probably in comics, like without a doubt. Like I think Spider-Man and him are right up there with the two. But like I don't know what good villain you can show that would have that they would do justice with at this point. Like the only one that's worked is when you went back in time and it had no tie-in. So I don't know. That's my opinion.
I mean, personally, for me, I'd love to see Hush, but you would have to change it. You'd have to I would love to see an interpretation of Hush because I think Hush is the greatest film that hasn't been on film yet. Like just the way that he was like best friends with Bruce Wayne. Calendar Man would work. Yeah. What's the one? It starts with a Z. Is like
Zaz.
Zaz, yeah. Zaz. Victor Zaz would be another good one as well. But I'll open it up to the panel. Sandy, if you were, what other Batman like C villains would be a good fit for this?
If they could do it properly, I would love to see a story arc with Mr. Mxyzptlk. I've always loved him as I know he's not necessarily a Batman villain, he's more of a Superman villain, but he's in that whole area and he picks on everybody a lot of times, just the Justice League in general. But we've never really seen him. We've seen him in a couple of iterations, and they've all been bad. So I'd like to see a really good one done with him. And I think it would be, if they did it right, it could be a lot of fun to watch that story arc. So that would be my pick.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Batman C villains to add it to Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Abe.
What?
Cool. Next topic. We are going to talk about favorite. Well, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you're saying, and then they're like, go to
I
Abe.
just think the topic is really weird. What C villain? Like,
well,
gosh,
like, because you're never
villain.
because you're never throwing in Two-Face, you're never throwing in Joker, you're never throwing in Penguin, Scarecrow.
Sell a movie with a C villain. Like, how do you sell one?
How do you sell Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, got you there.
No, he doesn't.
You don't know. You don't have this. You don't have this.
Time. They sold Guardians from years of doing it well beforehand. People went in there like, this is the biggest risk they've taken.
Who knew who Obadiah Stane was?
Huh?
Obadiah Stane, the villain from Iron Man.
Yeah,
but
that's the starting point of that character. They didn't go because of that. They went because of Robert Downey Jr. in the suit. My whole viewpoint is that with the DCU as struggling as it is, you put these characters in it. Are you trusting them regardless what the villain is? I don't think a C villain is the same level as Guardians of the Galaxy. Not even close.
I'd even try like Court of Owls would be another good one. It's a group. It's a group versus group. Yeah.
I would just try a good movie. That's just me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, be like that, Cody.
Cool, man.
There, bro.
We had a lot of momentum going into that segment, and then it just grinded to a halt. We might as well have talked about Conor versus Khabib. All right, so moving on. We are going to talk about movie Mustaches in Movember. For those of you who don't know, I think it was grade 12 for me, so it would have been like 7 years ago. Movember. Movember was a foundation and an event started by a couple of dudes. They grow mustaches in awareness of prostate cancer, and it has grown into this massive thing. Millions of people do it. A lot of people that I know, they just call it Movember. They don't call it Movember. And it's not just prostate cancer now. It's any form of cancer. It's cancer regardless of gender. There's ways. There's ways to do it. I do have the bad news, though, that Abe does have to leave. So, Abe, very quickly, where can the Cool Kids of the World find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. Watch the Reactor Summit that doesn't go up on Saturday, but on Monday. I also watched Gone with the Wind, which I don't know where it is, but it's gonna be up.
I think it's gone up now. I think it's up now.
Okay, that's a great show. Me, Malcolm, Manning. This goes all about the Oscars. Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
All right. Okay. So.
That was my championship of English.
All right. So yeah, I'll move it on to here, and I want to talk about Movember because I think this is a pretty important issue. But Cody, what are some of your how has Movember affected you in any way, shape, or form? And then obviously with famous mustache characters and actors, what are some of your favorites?
I refuse to answer any mustache questions this round because they may come up in our debate. So I refuse to let any in my secrets. But Movember actually was a big thing at my old job, AMC. We practiced with it. It was all throughout our management staff, and it was to see who could raise the most money between management staff. And yes, I've not always had this. I've only had this at one point. My wife hated it. I absolutely hate just the mustache. I think it's very creepy. But right now, I've grown this out for too long, and if I shave, I'll be scratching for the next 5 months. So it's not going anywhere. I think it's a great cause. I think it does great things in everybody's. If you don't know about it, please donate to it because it's a huge thing that grew from very fast. It didn't. It didn't start. It didn't. It wasn't popular for a while, and then it skyrocketed. So, yeah, it's definitely a great cause. There's a lot of great mustaches out there, but that's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah, great mustaches.
Okay, I'm gonna read quickly what the Movember website is like. It's sort of like their story. So it says the state of men's health is in crisis. Men experience worse, longer-term health than women and die on average 6 years earlier. Prostate cancer rates will double in the next 15 years. Testicular cancer rates have already doubled in the last 50. 3/4 of suicides are men. Poor mental health leads to 500,000 men taking their own life every year. That's one every minute. And then they have it bold. Our fathers, partners, brothers, and friends are facing this health crisis, and it's not being talked about. We can't afford to stay silent. I will go on to go to Sandy next. What has Movember meant to you since it started, if you have participated in it? And to go off of that, who are some of your favorite mustache actors and characters?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I look at Movember not just as one or two things. I think it should be dedicated to men's overall health. Period. I was going to bring up that that fact that 3/4 of all suicides are men. It's a very, very tragic, or Canadian men, of course. That was done in Canada. It's a tragedy that we're letting our it's a tragedy that anybody has to die from suicide, but the fact that nobody ever talks about the issues that men deal with on a daily basis and the things that we stress about and that there's always another cause, and when that cause is on everybody's forefront, this cause gets further back, and it's a tragedy that we only have 1 month a year where everybody goes, oh, that's right. And I want it to become more. I've always supported Movember since I was 16 years old. I've been able to grow facial hair, so I've had a mustache from time to time most of my life, and never had a trouble growing a big bushy one. So I'll give one example of a mustache that I absolutely love. I love that Kurt Russell was able to grow such an awesome mustache for Tombstone. Such a great mustache, and yeah, I'll leave that one there.
Right, Malcolm. I know correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Movember actually started in Australia, a neighboring country to you in New Zealand. So how has Movember affected New Zealand? And what are some of your favorite mustache actors and characters?
Yeah, I mean, Movember or No Shave November is what some places want to call it, but it goes for a good cause. I mean, there's a lot of people in Dunedin that do it all the time. but I mean, it's one it's a good cause, and it's just it's really hard to describe. Like it is something that affects like all men. Is just one of those things that there's a lot of people that died of it in the years, and just to raise money for the cause is great. And as for mustached characters, I mean, some of the favourites is Ned Flanders from The Simpsons has a good one. You've got Charlie Chaplin, who's got a good mustache. As Chris Clark would say, Hitler's always number one. But yeah.
You heard it here first. The views expressed by Malcolm do not represent the views of Take3 channel and its associates. Mr. Kearns, what does Movember mean to you? And what are some of your favorite mustached actors and characters?
Well, in recent years, so it's probably from when I was a junior in high school till now, Movember is usually the thing, or No Shave November. It's usually the thing that I try and participate in. I get until the morning of Thanksgiving, and then my mom says, shave that scruff off your face. It looks disgusting. This year, I lost my uncle last year to cancer. So what this represents is a little bit, it's crazy hearing those statistics. It's sad, and to now sadly be a part of the group of people who have lost someone to this horrible thing. It's great that there are people out there doing this. Listen, I can only grow scruff. If I could grow a full beard, I would for this. But happier topics. Fucking Sandy stole my mustache.
As soon as I said it, brother, I knew I took yours. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. But one I've always loved has Robin Williams in a Birdcage. I think he just has that mustache. I mean, I love that movie, but that mustache in that movie is so good. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. All right. So this actually, it's actually great that Matt brought up the scruff thing, because I kind of wanted to have like a bit of a challenge, or not really a challenge, but just more so like a gentleman's challenge. So every year since I've started dating my wife, I have tried to grow a mustache in November, but some X amount of days throughout the month, she'll be like, shave that fucking mustache off your face, or I'm not going to kiss you anymore. So eventually, I just give in and shave, because I like to be affectionate with my wife. That should not be a secret. So my question for you guys is, how many days do you think I go before she tells me to shave it off?
I don't know how fast your facial hair grows.
Mind you, I don't grow like it takes a while.
I'm gonna say 16 days.
Okay.
Sandy. I was gonna go straight dead in the middle of the month. I was gonna say 15. So,
okay.
I'll go 20. I'll go 20.
Oh. Does it look like dirt that grows on your upper lip? Is that what it looks like?
It's not. It's not. It's the effort that counts.
Well, it's my friend. He has one, and it's always like patchy and like weird. And I'm like, "Hey, you got something on your face?" He goes, "It's my facial hair." That's not facial hair. That looks like dirt. Terrible.
Malcolm, any guesses at all?
I'm gonna go 14.
14.
Oh, Sandy is deadlocked in the middle.
All right, so we'll say whoever gets straight on, or like closest, they get to pick the theme for a late night episode. So if there's something you want to talk about, so yeah, keep those numbers locked in. We do have evidence of so you can't change them. So like this video will be live, it'll be on the internet. So yeah, if you get closest, you'll get to pick a theme for late night. With that though, I'm going to hand it over to Malcolm, because Malcolm is actually taking over the debate portion for one. Oh, Cody, you have your hand raised.
Oh
What
my
do you
God,
want?
Cody.
As one of my favorite Schmodown competitors, John Roca. John Roca likes to say stuff before he goes into battle. So what helped Roca win the title? Time to get down to business. Let's go, boys.
Oh my goodness! Oh shit, guys! He turned his hat. He turned his hat backwards. Shit got real.
Hey, when was Andreko's last title? Oh yeah, shut your mouth. Cool.
You know what?
Must be nice to swing back and forth from competitors.
I don't know. Has
don't
Roca
swing
ever
back and
successfully defended a title?
Oh,
He was doing charity and giving it to Riley. He was giving charity.
how does it feel to live in the shadow of Mark Riley?
I don't swing back and forth, Brooklyn. I want to make that record state right now.
Bibiani is a favorite competitor. Bibiani played. John Roca is a favorite competitor.
Go rewatch that. I was celebrating for Chris winning the title, not Bibbs. Roca's my guy. Face facts. At least I show up on my guys' reactions instead of the one you missed. Oh yeah.
Oh, you want to get into that?
Yeah, we're going to that.
Oh, I think we should increase the debate time and just let Cody and Brooklyn just go right at her.
Fight. Okay. Fight.
Your mama. Go ahead. Let's start.
All right, Malcolm. Let's get some more. Let's get these debates rolling.
I'm really hoping that Cody and Brooklyn fight in round one.
Me too.
Right. Do the usual. Got two-digit numbers in my head. Cody, you're the champion. 1 to 4.
Gonna go with 3. Hasn't failed me yet.
Matt, 1, 3, or 4.
Wait,
Brooklyn or the other 2 defending champions.
4. He chose 3, didn't he?
1, 2, or 4.
I'm going number 2.
Sandy and Brooklyn don't get to pick, and you guys are past champions. Help! Malcolm hates you both.
Brooklyn, 1 or 4.
Yeah, number 1.
Which means Sandy's 4. So the numbers I was thinking of was 14 and 23. So,
Sandy.
Yeah.
Me versus Kearns?
Cody versus Kearns.
This is where I can lose too.
So Cody is the champion, so naturally that means he fights second. Oh no, you can choose whether you want to go first or second, but I know you can probably get what you can say.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go second. Absolutely.
Yeah. Brooklyn, pick a number between 1 or 2 because I'm using this to decide who gets to pick the number for the question.
We are number 1.
I was thinking of 2. So Sandy, do you want question 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
No, there's 5.
5. Oh shit! I am gonna go with good old number 1.
We are number 1.
The funny thing is, I only lost on these when somebody else wrote the questions instead of Brooklyn. So I hate Brooklyn so bad, but he actually writes the questions in my favor.
It's true. It's funny.
This is terrifying. This is terrifying.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, Malcolm. Did we lose Malcolm?
Did we?
Yep.
Oh my God, we lost our debate master. Also, the guy running our stream. So.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Shoot.
Shiitake mushrooms.
All right.
That's not good.
Fuck. So
how about that local sports team?
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh gosh.
I
didn't say this.
Guys.
I didn't say this in the news, but I should have. Since the last time we were on, the Red Sox are the World Series champions.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna assign to take 3. That way we don't lose the stream. Oh no! Fuck it. Never mind. He's back. Fuck, that was close. All right, fuck.
All right,
Malcolm's back.
There you are.
My computer went to sleep for some reason.
Oh God.
But anyway, the question I have for Brooklyn and Sandy, and this is actually one that Kearns is going to wish he got.
No, don't.
We know that Kurt Russell's had a few good moustaches. So which is his better one? Tombstone or the Hateful Eight?
Tombstone.
Hateful Eight. I'll take Hateful Eight.
Yes!
I'm
so excited. Thank you so much.
This is bullshit.
Right, I'll find. Just give me a second while I find my. Find me.
That is so fantastic. If I would have got that, I would have picked one if Sandy didn't.
Like, so Sandy said Tombstone first. So your 20 seconds starts when you begin talking.
Okay, so just the fact that Kurt Russell can grow a mustache that awesome in Tombstone to make it legit look like he was from that time period is so fantastic. The mustache is almost a character itself in that movie. There is absolutely zero wrong with it. It's perfectly coiffed. It's perfectly groomed. It's in the absolute best position on his face, and he makes it work.
Time.
Oh.
And
Can I hear the question one more time?
Best Kurt Russell mustache.
Cool. All right. I remember that.
And your 20 seconds begins when you start talking.
Kurt Russell's mustache in The Hateful Eight is a majestic motherfucker of a mustache. It is big, it is grizzly, and it's handsome as fuck. When you see that mustache, you know that man's been through about 1,000 different stories. He has a plethora of adventures and tales and women that he's probably met, or guys, you never know. But yeah, his that mustache just conveys so much
and time.
Age.
And
John Campia used to do the timer on the Schmodown. He's just
and Sandy, your 15-second rebuttal begins when you start talking.
Okay, so the only problem with Kurt Russell's mustache in The Hateful Eight is that it was already done in Tombstone. The mustache was there. It was perfectly established already that Kurt Russell could grow that type of mustache. So it was just a repeat in The Hateful Eight.
And time. And Brooklyn, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you begin talking.
The problem with Kurt Russell's mustache in Tombstone, it's almost too clean. It doesn't perfectly resemble the Western that it's supposed to portray in that setting. Whereas in Hateful Eight, it is rough, it's snowy, it's the Civil War era. That mustache needs to be a little bit gritty, and it perfectly provokes the character that he's portraying.
And time. Was some good debate, so I'm going to go to the champion first. Who are you going to give your point to and why?
So I think the start, both of you guys, you did your rebuttals are what I wanted to hear the whole time, about more of the movie instead of the man, basically, and you both tackled it really well. But I think Brooklyn touched on it in the beginning, at the end. Where it says you could see he went through some time, went through some struggle. Even though I think Tombstone's a better mustache, you did a better job selling it, so I have to give the point to Brooklyn.
And I'm going to go to our Kurt Russell expert, Matthew Kearns. Matthew, who are you going to give your point to and why?
This is still bullshit. This should have been my fight.
I'm so excited it's not. Is this the one closed-end question?
Yep.
Just the Lord laughs. Although I have a bias towards the Tombstone mustache, Brooklyn won it in his rebuttal with saying how the mustache fits that character in Hateful Eight a little bit better. It's just one of those things that if Sandy was able to have a no rebuttal, I'm sure he could have fought, but it's just what happens. Still, fuck that I didn't get this question. Cody would have been out in round one.
And with that, Brooklyn moves on. I I'm sorry, Sandy, but I would have also given my point to Brooklyn as well.
I am just happy to sit back now.
Now we're on to Cody versus Matthew. Cody, you're the champion, so do you want question 2, 3, 4, or 5?
That you're just giving us the finger.
2.
He says 2.
I'll take 2.
I was hoping this one was going to be picked.
Fuck me.
God, no.
Congratulations, Matt. You're going to win the first title this time.
Your question is, which movie character's mustache do you think Brooklyn would look good sporting?
Fuck.
Oh, Kurt Russell and Tombstone.
Oh, there's one stash. Come on, Cody.
It can just be like a solo stash. Does it have any other stuff, or can it just be the solo?
It can just be a solo stash.
Kurt Russell's is just a solo stash in Tombstone.
Yeah. Handlebar. Sort of.
Nah, it's a little bit more like, I would say it's actually more hairbrush.
Borat.
Yeah.
I heard Matthew first, so your 20 seconds starts when you begin talking.
Here's the thing. Kurt Russell's mustache from Tombstone makes anybody look better. If Brooklyn has that mustache, this show will be the most watched program on YouTube. If he has the Borat mustache, he's not going to want to leave his house, let alone get on the internet. He's going to look like a pervert. Whereas with the Tombstone mustache, it's clean. It's well kept. He'll just look better than he does now. It's just a beautiful mustache.
Cody, your 20 seconds starts when you begin talking.
The main thing about a mustache is it has to tell a lot about the personality. And yes, Borat's mustache is a little ridiculous, but Brooklyn is a jokester and a kidster, and it would work best for him for the little time that he could have it. Kurt Russell's mustache is too outlandish, too powerful. Sue would hate it and tell him to shave it off his face. He would have to wear a cowboy boot. He's more suburban. It would work better if he just had a solid black mustache across his face.
And time. Matt, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you begin talking.
What Sue would hate is a dumb-looking Borat mustache. What she would love is a nice, well-kept mustache like Kurt Russell's from Tombstone. It's not dirty. It's not messy. She'll actually want him, when he wants to shave him when November's over, she'll want him to keep it because it looks so good.
And time. Cody, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you begin talking.
I think the main thing about the Tombstone mustache, it works with Kurt Russell because he's such an intimidating character. Brooklyn's more of a character that could play it real fun and have a lot of fun with jokes with his mustache and do different impressions with it and have a lot of fun. And when it goes, it wouldn't be that big a deal. You're talking more about Kurt Russell
and time
is on him.
Well, I'm going to go to Sandy first. Sandy, who are you going to give your point to and why?
So based on the argument, Matt gets my vote because it was what would look better on Brooklyn, and I think that dumb Borat mustache would look stupid on Brooklyn. But I think that Brooklyn would be able to bring some. He's a huskier guy, got some muscle to him. So I think that mustache would fit better on his face. I think the Borat mustache would look a little too thin and a little too creepy. So I give my vote to Matt.
And Brooklyn, which of the arguments convinced you on what mustache you should put on?
I am giving my point to Cody because he tackled a lot of Matt's offense pretty good. Just where he was able to invoke my personality, I guess. How I'm just kind of funny and weird. Like, I'm sure Kurt Russell's mustache for Tombstone would be great, but I think Cody brought up a good defense where it doesn't fit. Because, to be honest, I'm not really intimidating, so I'm going to give it to Cody. But the correct answer is Groucho Marx mustache.
No, the correct answer is Burt Reynolds mustache. You would kill that.
The correct answer is no mustache at all.
So that leaves me to be the tiebreaker.
Good.
There was definitely a lot of good points on both sides, but I think just by a hair,
Oh, God.
it's Matthew. Matthew gets my points. So,
Whoa!
So it's Matthew versus Brooklyn for the title.
Well then.
I will
Matthew,
no
you
longer
guys who
debate
don't-
when you're not writing questions.
um,
How the same mustache got to be used in back-to-back things? No, just saying.
hey, I didn't say that he couldn't.
That's
true.
yeah, you're good. It's okay.
But I'm thinking of two different numbers for him. For Matthew, 3 or 4, and whoever picks the number I'm thinking of will pick the number for this round.
4?
Which leaves Brooklyn with 3, and I was thinking of 4. So Matthew, do you want question 3, 4, or 5?
I'll go with question 5.
Ooh. Question 5 is a doozy.
All right. Bring it on.
One of the famous TV character mustaches, arguably, is Ned Flanders.
Mhm.
If they were to do a live-action Simpsons movie, which actor do you think should play Ned Flanders and sport that mustache?
Bryan
John Hamm.
Cranston.
I heard Brooklyn first. I didn't actually hear what he said.
John Hamm.
What did you say, Matt?
I said Bryan Cranston.
Okay, I mean, Brooklyn was first, so your 20 seconds begins when you start talking.
John Hamm, from his silliness in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and Bridesmaids to his seriousness in The Town and Mad Men, he is able to portray the duality that is Ned Flanders, this lovable Christian fella, but has some dark-ass angry tones in select episodes of The Simpsons. Bryan Cranston is silly, but he's more known for his serious roles, and I don't know if he can go back to that.
And time.
Okay.
And Matt, your time begins when you start talking.
Bryan Cranston showed us in Malcolm in the Middle that he could do the funny side of Ned Flanders, and in Breaking Bad, he showed he could do the serious side while also having a good mustache. There is no role that John Hamm has done that is he's shown he could sport the mustache. Bryan Cranston, he was a comedy, the drama, and sport the mustache fantastically. John Hamm, yeah, he's kind of funny, but he is more of a serious actor nowadays. Whereas Bryan Cranston
And time.
he's always funny.
Brooklyn, your 15-second rebuttal starts when you start talking.
We have seen Bryan Cranston rock a green sweater before in Breaking Bad, and it wasn't until later seasons where he started wearing the leather jackets and the bigger clothes where he became more of a badass. John Hamm has been a badass pretty well since the get-go of his acting career. He is able to once again portray the silliness of
And
Ned Flanders.
And your 15-second rebuttal starts when you start talking.
Why are you talking about badass? We're talking about Ned Flanders. Bryan Cranston could so easily be Ned Flanders. We've seen him in interviews. He still has that humor from Malcolm in the Middle. And again, sporting that mustache, he could grow it and it could be real. It wouldn't have to be fake. Like, pretty sure John Hamm would have to have a fake
And
mustache.
time. I'm going to go to the former champion, Cody. Who are you going to give your point to and why?
The general public for having to sit through this debate because I'm so happy I fucking lost because this question is horseshit. On the debate, Brooklyn wins it. Brooklyn. I mean, it's nothing against Matt. This is literally cookie cutter in the wheelhouse for Brooklyn. So Brooklyn knows Ned Flanders back and forth and created a great argument for him to be the character. They got too tied up on like more of the character. He touched more of the characters, more of the characters they used to play, but I thought Brooklyn touched more about the character of Ned Flanders, so I'm going to go with that.
And Sandy, who would you give your point to and why?
I heard you. I'm just thinking. So, I mean, The Simpsons has been on for what, 24, 29,000 seasons?
28 seasons, sorry.
28 seasons. And, I don't know how many episodes there are out there that Ned turns into a badass and is doing out there. So I think
Not the argument.
Well, yeah, no, but that's the argument that was made. So
you can't pull back that was he a badass. It's what they talked about. That's why I lost in the first round. I'm saying it's got to be based on what they said. It's not that was he a badass in the show. It's what they presented.
Okay, so if I'm gonna base that on there, my recollection, as much as I know, I don't remember that many episodes of Ned Flanders being a badass. So
you can't pull what you know. It's got to be what they said.
But that's what I'm getting to.
Guys, it's just
that's the problem. That's the whole point of debate. It's got to be based on the argument, not what you've seen the character, not what you.
But he's saying he's talking about what Brooklyn's rebuttal was about.
Yeah.
Correct, but what he's saying, I don't have the recollection of him being a badass. That's the thing. It's got to be based on arguments.
Okay, so let me clear that up for you. Based on the argument of Ned Flanders being a badass, I vote for Matt because he talked more about his character and why his character would be a better portrayal of the character of Ned Flanders. And I thought adding the duality of that character didn't really fit in my estimation of what Ned Flanders would need to be portrayed as. So my vote goes to Matt this round.
Yeah, this was tough because they both made good points. I think Matt took it for me because he brought up the fact that John Hamm is for Ned has to be really comedic focused and stuff. Brooklyn did bring up that John Hamm has been in comedies like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and stuff like that. Matt countered that very easily by saying that John Hamm doesn't really do a lot of comedy these days. He does seem to do more serious roles. So, with that being said, your winner, and now no longer a bridesmaid, Matthew Kearns.
Oh my God! I want to thank my mom for letting me watch The Simpsons and Malcolm in the Middle. I want to thank Abe for leaving so that I could play Cody in round one. I want to thank Kurt Russell for having so many great mustaches. You like me. You really, really like me. At least this week until at least next week.
So, I'm going to pass straight back to Brooklyn.
Grrr! Motherfucking grrr! While I disagree wholeheartedly with the ruling, Matt finally gets to be the bride. He gets to be the champion. I could have argued for hours, and I'm actually kicking myself because as you guys are making the decision, David Cross is the ultimate Ned Flanders. He essentially just has to play Tobias for the rest of the development.
Yeah.
I whenever I was taking on Matt, I'm like, all right, cool. I actually have a legit chance. And then they're like, Flanders, perfect. Because I love Flanders.
I love them too.
This reignites the hunger that I need to. I may have to let Malcolm or somebody else take over questions for a little bit because I gotta go for that belt now.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh, and Abe's back.
Abe's back. Hi.
I'll do the questions.
All right.
No,
cool.
I'm actually dropping out, so then I will write questions. Actually,
Sandy, what?
Wait, whoa, Cody, what? Cody, this doesn't sound like you. Why are you doing this?
I'll explain off air, but yeah, I'm gonna drop and I will start writing the questions for speed round.
Cool.
Okay.
Abe, you have suddenly joined us. I thought you had to leave.
Oh yeah, I went to grab some dinner and come back.
Oh, cool. So Matt Kearns is the newest Late Night with Take 3 mini speed debate champion of the Full Metal Multiplex communities, something of the world. So yeah,
Cody,
Matt,
are
how do
you
you? Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. So, I don't know, Matt. How do you feel first beating Cody and then beating me? Two champions.
I don't know how the hell I did it against Cody. Just the luck of being able to answer Kurt Russell. Beating you, that was a really good fight. You know what the thing was I was afraid I was gonna lose because I actually thought I had a really good argument, and usually in these debates, when I think I have a good argument, that's usually when I lose. But yeah, no, that was a good fight. It feels nice to not be a bridesmaid anymore, even though you'll still continually call me one. But at least to have it
Right?
once.
I can't call you a bridesmaid anymore. That's like
You can get
the
divorced,
monkey.
but that's about it.
The monkey has been lifted off your back.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. So that puts us at the at about the hour 45-ish minute mark. That's a good time to call it a day. I do want to thank the entire panel for coming on today. So I'll start off first with Matthew, the current champion, the new champion. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Oh, you guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattWay611 YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme and Reason with Sandy Robinson. Big episodes coming up on Saturday. Part 1 of our Star Trek discussion drops. We're talking top 5 characters, top 5 original series episodes, and top 5 Next Generation episodes. And the week after that, our discussion on the top 10 Star Trek movies comes out. And then after that, I'm not sure how many parts it's going to be, but we're going to be doing a similar big discussion on Star Wars. So get excited.
All right. To our former champion, Mr. Cody Newberry, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Cody Newberry. You can find me on Wednesdays with Robert watching watch-alongs. We're doing Spider-Man 2 next week, I believe. You can find me on Fridays, pretty much. Full Metal Geek, me, RJ, and Robert run that over there. And sometimes when Raycom stops being scary and starts being normal again, I will be back as the grumpy old man in the corner that yells at everybody's choices because they are normally wrong.
To our producers and man behind the scenes and question writer for the debates, Malcolm Maleo, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You can find me on Take 3 where I host Rankum every Sunday night. We're doing Halloween TV specials, and Rhyme and Reason are going to be my guests on that episode. I don't know which one's Rhyme, which one's Reason, but yeah. But you can also find me competing in trivia on Full Metal and Multiplex, and you can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Malcor.
To fellow Canadian great guy all around, Sandy Robinson, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Cool kids of the world can find me all over the internet every week. Somewhere along the line, I am on Full Metal Trivia, Singles, Teams, Geek, anywhere that you can find Full Metal Trivia. As Matt already mentioned, I am with him, my great partner on Rhyme and Reason, dropping every Saturday. And he's right. We have a huge 2-part episode coming up. So get ready for that. And you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at S Robinson 1799. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, and to the person who hopped out for a little bit and then came back, Abe Flores, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Well, I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamApp25. That's it. Watch the summit and Gone with the Wind because they're the best shows in the channel. I'm sorry.
All right. And last but definitely not least, I'm the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TheRealBK10, the number, not the words. You can also find me on T3 Productions running not one but two shows, Jukebox Trivia on Mondays, where we do various music trivia, debates, and countdowns. Be sure to check out the episode that we did on Monday that covered the top 10 Queen songs. That was actually a pretty good show. And then on Thursdays, we do this year, Take 3, episode 52 next week. Not sure what it's going to be, but we will figure out eventually. Be sure you guys check out www.movember.com.ca wherever you're from. Check out the story. Sharing the link is just as big as making a financial donation. So please, guys, with the start of this, it's a prominent subject, one we need to tackle head on. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe to T3 Productions. If you want to join this panel, I'm sorry you can't. So
there it is. Sorry.
That was Brooklyn.
You can also find me on Multiplex and Full Metal Multiplex. I have a sports battlefield match coming up against Sandy Robinson. It's actually pretty entertaining. And in Full Metal, you can find me jobbing to whatever rookies I have to. So for Abe, for Cody, for Matt Kearns, for Sandy, and for Malcolm, I am the Black Lantern Brooklyn Vale. Cheers, guys. And as always, drive safely.
Drive unsafe.